Hi, I'm Andy Dome from Wichita, Kansas. I teach at Wichita West High School, and this is assignment one, kind of going over the KPTP assignment. And I kind of as I was looking through it, I've never heard of this before, so it was all kind of brand new to me. So here's kind of my take from it and some of the things that I thought I'd be good at, and some things I might need to work at in this class that might help me achieve getting this goal done. First, in task one, it talks about contextual information and learning environment factors. So, in the task, it talks about kind of understanding who your classroom environment is, understanding what kids you have, school district, and population, and all of these different factors come into play while doing this task one. And I feel like I have a good feel for what my school is like. We're a low income school. A lot of kids have free and reduced lunches, and a lot of kids have a lot of trouble at home because there's not a strong home life. So I know a lot of those characteristics I'm starting to learn about West High School. So I think task one won't be too difficult for me to do, looking through what it entails. So task two talks about designing instruction. So this year's been kind of difficult for me. It's my first time ever doing a lesson plan of before, since last semester was my first time teaching, and kind of learning through that, the unit of study, and using different aspects of my knowledge from college to help these kids learn by using technology and integration of content, differentiation, and different resources using the computer. I teach business, so we use the computer on a daily basis. There's a lot of options for these kids to work through, and a lot of different tasks that they could search for, and having that internet at their hands right there. Also, I want to push my kids a little more to use stronger resources, for instance, with the book and things of that sort, because a lot of kids nowadays will just find anything on the computer and they'll be like, oh, it's a credible source, which is a lot of the times not the case. So that would be something with designing instruction I think I need to work on a little more. I haven't, like I said, I understand what they're wanting, but I could use some help maybe from this class on the aspects that might make it a little more comfortable for me to learn doing those. So next, teaching and learning. So I feel like I've learned a lot so far from other teachers, just giving me information and things of that nature. Skills of lesson delivery and assessment of student levels. In a way, I've kind of came up with my own strategy of how to give a lesson, how to approach kids. I like to walk around the room, make sure everybody's involved, kind of make sure I'm hitting certain topics in each chapter of the study and the unit for people to learn, because I know they all learn in different ways. Some are a little audio, some more audio learners, some are more visual learners. Trying to touch base with all those is kind of difficult sometimes, so you really have to change your strategy up depending on the type of kids. If I have some more lower level readers in the class, sometimes I'll touch more on reading out loud to them, so that way they're getting more information than others. So, I guess the basic task three, teaching and learning, I have a little more to learn on, but I feel pretty comfortable with it. Next, task four is reflection and professionalism. In that task, it states, in this task, a teacher candidate will demonstrate the ability to critically examine and reflect on his or her teaching performance and the impact of instruction on the students. In addition, task four is also intended for the teacher candidate to evaluate professionalism and commitment to a lifelong learning. So that sounds, from what I read earlier on the reflection process, the PowerPoint had some very good facts in it that kind of helped me go through, and let me get that back pulled up here. So it talks about you'll identify the data of the objectives, finding things like that. You'll provide reasoning for successes and struggles, and provide ideas for building successes, and provide positive solutions for correcting these struggles. So I think with that right now, they talk about communication a lot. I communicate with my students a lot. I am a very vocal person. I like to talk with them and see how they're doing with the lesson, see how things are working. did it seem like today's lesson, did you get a lot out of it? Did you not? There are days where they'll say, well, it wasn't that good. Well, that's maybe something I need to learn on, either teaching it differently or maybe help those kids learn the material in a different way. So with task 4, kind of reviewing the complete document before turning it in, make sure they talk about kind of reflection, just making sure everything's in order. So I usually always double check on things like that and check on if I'm doing things in the correct way. So with this process here, KPTP, it seems like something that I'm kind of half confident, half could need some work with. So I'm hoping that this course might help me learn a little more of how to work through this process and find my own kind of way to learn the material, and hopefully help others along the way in this class and the discussions, and maybe give me some pointers as well. So I hope it goes well, and that is my knowledge so far now on KPTP. Have a good week.